Back to our breaking news story. Gunmen have stormed a state-owned TV station in the Afghan city of Jalalabad, killing 2 people. That's according to local officials. 2 of the attackers are said to be dead, and at least 1 more is reportedly still fighting police. Here's local journalist Bilal Sawari with more details.
A policeman and a soldier for the Afghan National Army are also among those killed. We understand from health sources that at least 14 wounded have been taken to the city hospital in Jalalabad. The city of Jalalabad, usually very crowded, a major hub for eastern Afghanistan, is under a lockdown, and this building for the state broadcaster is less than 100 meters from the governor's office. So the eastern city of Jalalabad is the capital for Nangarhar province in the eastern part of Afghanistan. This is where the Islamic State or Daesh have a stronghold, but the Taliban are also present, as well as members of Al-Qaeda group. And only last week the Afghan government was saying that they have tried to target a radio station for the Islamic State. The attack comes a day after Afghanistan experienced a number of bloody attacks, specifically in the eastern province of Kunar. We saw attacks in the province of Kandahar in the south. So today's attack is a blow for Afghan journalism that have really flourished in the last 16 years or so.
Former U.S. soldier turned whistleblower Chelsea Manning is set for release from prison this Wednesday after being convicted for leaking top-secret data. Manning, however, has a weight on her hands. It's been hours already since the usual time when inmates are released, just after midnight local time, but the gates have yet to open. She was charged with espionage after she admitted handing over hundreds of thousands of classified documents to WikiLeaks. She was arrested back in 2010 and received a 35-year prison sentence in 2013. However, it was commuted in the final days of Barack Obama's administration. RT's Murat Gaziev looks back over Chelsea Manning's forgotten story.
Back then, no one even suspected how bad it was in Iraq. Murder, torture, and rape on a chilling scale. 2 civilians were being killed for every enemy fighter. It was all swept under the rug. We'd probably never have known that either, if not for Bradley, now Chelsea Manning. To be forgotten after what Manning did is almost insulting.
Chelsea Manning, yeah, she's on television or something like that. I don't know if she's a comedian or if she has a show.
Isn't that an actress? I'm not sure.
Name doesn't ring any bells?
Not a clue.
Person was in prison?
Not a clue.
What if I tell you they used to be named Bradley Manning? Does it sound any familiar?
No, that don't make...
This is a person, you know, who was arrested for leaking government information to WikiLeaks. Sound familiar at all?
No.
Manning didn't get rich or powerful leaking that information. No, she lost 7 years of her life for it.
Chelsea Manning knew the risks that she was taking. She was prepared to have to pay the legal price for exposing this. And I think she would still stand by this today, despite the inhuman treatment she has received at the hands of the military police and the military legal system in the USA. There were 2 other, perhaps unforeseen outcomes by her courage. First of all, of course, was the fact that it was the stories that WikiLeaks acquired unknowingly from her that took that organisation global. I would suggest the second one as well is that she provided a wonderful example to future young brave whistleblowers, not least Edward Snowden. So I think those are 2 very, very important points that we should remember as unforeseen outcomes from the bravery of Chelsea Manning.
The scandal then was that the US was concealing civilian casualties. But has anything changed? It's not America's fault when civilians die in US airstrikes. It's the terrorists' fault for using them as human shields. Or when US jets hit a hospital in Afghanistan. Sorry about that one, but no one's getting punished. Guantanamo Bay, Manning revealed that many detainees were likely innocent. The public never liked Gitmo. Obama promised to shut it down. Years on, Gitmo is still open, and many of those detainees are still there. The NSA's surveillance is global. International leaders, diplomats, companies, you, me, we're all being monitored. We know that because of another whistleblower. Yet, ironically enough, not even their treatment of whistleblowers has changed.
It's simple. If Manning did what he did, they ought to try him and they ought to put his ass before a firing squad and light him up.
He jeopardized national security.
Edward Snowden, he was the one who dominated coverage over the weekend.
He's a terrible guy who's really set our country back.
Proper outcome would be that he would be given a death sentence.
Well, WikiLeaks editor Julian Assange has described the CIA as the world's most dangerously incompetent spy agency. He made the comment to RT after the CIA told us that Assange is a best friend to terrorists. The war of words ensued after a former employee of the agency, Ray McGovern, appeared on our show, Going Underground, to discuss intelligence issues. When we asked the CIA to comment on McGovern's claims, it not only responded with harsh criticism of Assange, but also branded RT a propaganda outlet. It also reiterated the claims that Russia meddled in the US election, calling it an established fact. Here's a look at that episode of Going Underground.
Julian and his WikiLeaks associates are in possession now of authentic or original CIA documents that show things like a capability that allows the CIA to hack into other systems. It's shown in these documents that the CIA is working in Russian, Chinese, Arabic, Farsi, and Korean to leave little telltale signs when they hack into a computer system. Could it be that the Russian hack was really done by John Brennan of the CIA?
You can watch the full episode of Going Underground and that interview with former CIA officer Ray McGovern just a bit later today on RT or on our website, rt.com.